Hey guys, it's Dimitri. Today we're going to go over LinkedIn and just the basics on how to use LinkedIn and get around. Just to start off, I am not endorsed by LinkedIn. I'm not paid by LinkedIn. I'm just doing this to show you the basics and how to get around on your own if you're new to LinkedIn. So to start off, this is what it looks like when you log in. The most important portion of this is actually this top portion right here. And the reason it's so important is because this is on LinkedIn no matter where you go. So learning to use the top portion of LinkedIn is basically all you're going to need. I'll show you a few other features. So if you get lost, you can go here to the home page. You'll see there's home, profile, and basically the other ones aren't as important. But home gets you here. The second one is profile. And you'll see there's three options. Typically, if you just click on profile by itself, it'll take you to your profile. It'll give you a quick overview of everything you have put in. And it'll give you the option to change things and edit them. So, for example, you can see if you click here on add a background photo, you can do that. You'll also see that there's little pencils next to each item. If you click the pencil, you can actually edit it. So if I'd like to change my name, I can click the pencil. I'll give you an example here. And it'll give you an option to change whatever you have in here, whether it's your name, your job, your title. As you scroll down to your profile, again, you have the same option here when you highlight your mouse over any section. Also notice is when you have your mouse off of each section, it's white and it looks like it will when you're online. But when you put your mouse over it, you'll have new options such as this little arrow. That arrow is actually used to move around different sections. So I have mine as my summary at the top, and then I have my experience, and it goes down. You'll see as we get going. But again, as you put your mouse over it, you can edit these. On the top of each section, you can add whatever, whether it's in a position, education, and also when you get to the bottom of them, you have the same option to add a new section. So if you're in education, it'll add education. Also important to notice on your profile is here. This notifies your network of any changes. I typically have this set to yes, but for strategic reasons, I have it set to no right now. So basically, if you change your name, add a new job, you do anything, it'll notify your network of that. And basically, when you hit profile, you can see all of your profile. I recommend filling this out as much as possible. This is my profile. So this is how you get to edit your profile, which is important. Again, you can use the home button to go back. Another useful item is if you click on profile. Let's see. If you click here on who's viewed your profile, you can actually see who's been looking at you. This is important for, I don't know, good reasons. You can see if recruiters are watching you. You can see if a company that you applied for is interested. You can click here and it'll show you the people that have actually looked at your profile in the last 90 days. If you look closely here, the dotted line will be a projection or a forecast what LinkedIn thinks is going to happen. If you click on these different tabs, it'll break it down by company. So this will be company on the left. On the right is areas, so geographical regions. If you click another tab here, again, this does different industries and job titles. So these are who's viewed your profile. This is probably the most useful one. This is what it'll start on when you click on profile and who viewed your profile. You can also click on who's viewed your posts and how you rank for profile views. Again, those aren't very important. So the home and the profile ones are the most important. If you click connections, this will show you who you're friends with. This is great for finding people that you've added. And again, here's a search box. If you click on it, it'll expand and you can type in a name. So if you have a connection name, I don't know, Tom Smith, if you type in Tom, it'll automatically list everybody that's Tom or close names, and you can actually sort through your friends to find people that you've added. The next one I would look at would be the search bar. So jobs is interesting. It's useful. You can find great jobs on here. We'll go through a little bit of this in a second, but I like using it. It's very intuitive, and sometimes it's a lot easier to apply on LinkedIn if they're using the LinkedIn functions. Interests. The most important, I think, would be companies and groups. I don't use the other ones, but if you go into groups, it'll give you different groups you can follow and participate in. So here's kind of my feed and the different groups that are going. You can actually, I'll show you how to use the search function in a second. So here on the search function, if you look here, there's a little arrow. If you click it, it'll search all automatically. You can narrow it down by people, jobs, companies, groups, universities. Let's just search, let's see, Washington. Since I lived in Washington for a while, I can give you an idea. So this narrows down people who have Washington either as a name, a school, something tied to them. And again, this is actually what I think is very, very important. Probably the best feature LinkedIn has is this sidebar. This will be present on everything you do for searching. So for example, if you find a company, you can use this to narrow down the people by location, whether they're, you'll see here, the relationship of their first contact, so you are actually network contacts with them. A second contact, so you share somebody in common, or a third contact, which is where you know somebody that knows somebody, and a group member. So if you joined a group and they're also part of that group, that'll have your relationship. So just a quick review. This is narrow Washington down by people. It'll give me a list of people on here. Again, like let's do location. Let's say we want to do Kansas City, which is not listed. So you see, you could easily click Seattle or United States and it'll narrow it down. Or you can hit the add button, which is right here. And when you click that, you can just type. So let's just say Kansas City, there's Missouri. You click that and it narrows it down again. And you can keep narrowing down by current company, industry. Again, if you click the little arrow, it will pop up with a list of recommended ones, and you can click add and type in whatever you want. So I think this is probably the best feature in LinkedIn. Anything that has little gold, LinkedIn is for people that pay for LinkedIn. I do not pay for LinkedIn. I don't think it's worth it. However, you are welcome to pay for a premium version here. Anyway, so this is probably the most important aspect of here is that you can use search to narrow down either jobs, which would come into here. You can do people. You can do companies, groups, universities. You can even search posts and your inbox, which is amazing. Which leads us to this section over here. So this is basically the other portion that you'll need to know. The first section is a message logo, which is this one. Second one is a notification window, meaning it tells you how many people have looked at you, who's looking at you, if you have new contacts, basically updates on your profile and your friends. And then the third one is the plus person, which means somebody has added you or they're requesting to add you. And so we'll just review these real quick. The message center is pretty intuitive. It gives you a list of all your messages here on the side. There's a little X next to it if you'd like to delete the message. It tells you the dates, gives you a whole feed of the conversations you've had. On the bottom, this is actually pretty important. You can attach files. This does not work in Internet Explorer or Edge. So typically I use Chrome when I have to attach something. So if you're sending a resume to somebody, I'm not sure if it works in Firefox or Safari, but just a heads up, if it's not working, LinkedIn's a little glitchy because they've opted to have it kind of fun and intuitive looking, and it looks great, but the functionality sometimes isn't the best. So again, those are your messages. If you click on notifications, it'll give you a list. You can't really click on the flag, it just drops down and you have to select something. So again, you can get to the same option we looked at earlier, which is who's viewed your profile. And again, it has a history of how many people have looked at you. That being said, I'll show you this as well. This actually will show you your profile views, and this will show you the actions taken. So for example, I have 11 profile views, which is down 31% from the previous week. That being said, there are 9 actions, and those actions were that 9 new connections. If you look here, this one will show you, for example, here's other actions that you can have. So you can have endorsements, you can post topics, you can share updates. So again, that's on the notification tab. It shows you who's added you and the people that are viewing your profile. And then the add person, if somebody adds you or you have a message or notification, you'll actually have a little 1. If you have like 1 new message right here, for example, or if you have like 2, this little red and a white box that will actually be there is an indication that you have something new. So you have a new person added you in this case, you have a new notification, or you have a new message. When that happens, you'll see somebody's name. You'll see somebody's name here, and there'll actually be an X with a circle and a check mark with a circle. This X means you do not know them or you do not want to accept them. This little check with a circle will mean that yes, you want to accept them. Sometimes you don't know who they are. Maybe you want to look at them, so if you actually click on the name, you can go to their profile, look at them, see if they have anything in common, or maybe it's an old friend you forgot about, and then from that point you can either accept them or deny them by just clicking on this icon. Even if the little indicator, so if it says like 1 or 2 is gone, you can still click here and see it. In my case, you'll notice I do not have any new requests, and so it'll actually show you people you may know. And so you can actually select one of these people, or you can hit, let's see, you can hit see all, which is right here. And when you actually select this, it'll take you to this awesome page, which I do like. And it'll give you lists of people that you actually might know. And this little indication here is how many people you have in common with them. So if you actually hover your mouse over that, it'll tell you, for example, I have 5 connections that are similar. It'll list the people out. If you select these 3 little dots down here, it'll actually show you the other people. So for example, there's 5 people, it only shows 3. If you click it, it'll give you a window with all 5 people, or in this case 7, depending who it is. I like to scroll through here from time to time. New friends get LinkedIn accounts, or people that I forgot about from high school or college will pop up in here. And to add them, all you have to do is hit connect, and it will automatically add them. And then actually a message will pop up here that will say, you know, your request has been sent. And then that tile, for example, if we added to this woman here, if we added her, her tile would disappear and a new contact would appear here. They'd replace it with a picture of somebody else. So once you click it, it just does it. That being said, that's an easy way to find people on here. And just to wrap this up, the last little icon here is going to be your profile picture. And if you hover your mouse over it, you'll get a list of options. You can update to premium. You can manage job postings, company pages, languages, settings. You can do everything. But the reason I like to show you this is just if you want to sign out. So if you're on like a public computer or a work computer, you're not comfortable being signed in, you can just use this to click sign off quickly. So that kind of wraps up LinkedIn. So as a quick overview, this bar right here is how you navigate LinkedIn. When you go to search things like Washington, for example, this bar right here is probably the second most important thing in LinkedIn, and this is a great way to narrow down jobs, people, universities, companies. I've used it before for looking for like a contact. So you can look for, like, I want to find an HR person that works at, say, Johnson & Johnson. You can type in Johnson & Johnson up here, and then once you get here, you can go down to this window, and you can narrow it down by, like, location, or, for example, you could do title. which if you select this on people, you can select by title, and you could type in HR, and anyone that has HR in their title will come up. So that's it. I hope you guys learned a lot. Please leave comments. Thanks. Bye.